Alrighty then, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, one and all. My name is Michael. I'm the Dennis Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition Curse of the Crimson Throne, our rehashed and remastered version of a classic Pathfinder tale featuring these wonderful and incredible Patreons. Guys, say hello to the folks at home.
Hello.
Hello.
It's so good to hear you guys all enthusiastic and excited and stuff. Watching Laura Bones try to get into the Fantasy Ground server. Look at this. Laura Bones connected, Laura Bones disconnected, Laura Bones connected, Laura Bones disconnected. Do. She doesn't get to play.
You don't need to add to the pain. I'm feeling it.
I don't know. It's good. It's like some sort of hokey pokey. We put Laura Bones in, we take Laura Bones out, we put Laura Bones in.
You don't need this kind of thing
sure?
at 20 past midnight.
You sure?
It's like, yeah.
I'll take your word for it. I mean, it's not 20 past midnight here. It's like 7 in the morning though. So I mean, still.
You don't need that at 7 in the morning either.
No, that's very true. Definitely don't. So there you go. But guys, we are going to be despite my my intro, we are going to be racing through today's intro session. So let's kick off by, of course, thanking our sponsors. We have Hero Forge. Artwork, people, look at all of them. Aren't they pretty? Go to Hero Forge, make your own. Fantasy Grounds, VTT, Tabletop, allows me to connect to people. Also awesome. You want to play with friends online? Go check out Fantasy Grounds. Sound effects, music, and all these kind of cool things. Hey, Sirenscape, so cool. Go check it out. They're Australian, just like Dag. Dag's Australian. We are proud of Australian things, like Lamingtons. Fuck you, New Zealand. Lamingtons and Pavlovas are both ours. You can go to hell. There you go. Yeah, we got that. And if Rob, you're in chat, fuck you as well, because yes, they are ours. You Yorkshireman. Anyway, we're gonna now make it to, of course, our lovely players. We have we have Holly, who is a rogue cleric, abandoned and now targeted by the red mantis god Akachek. Forced to try and prove their innocence, otherwise their soul is damned for eternity. Worshipper of Asmodeus, and all-round troublemaker, heir to a throne that has now been emptied by a murderous fae named Puck, whom she is now on a revenge quest for. This incredible character played by our dear friend Malakisa. Mally, how are you?
Hi, doing great.
Awesome, wonderful. Next up, we have the dragon slayer Unok. I know it's just, I don't know how to, the mighty dragon slayer Unok, who our group met in a fortress long, far away in the lands of Belkson, an orcish individual whose name has preceded him as he has come to this city in order to hunt the spirit of an undead dragon named Kazavron. We have Marcus, the storyteller.
Hello.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in their company, we have none other than Agnes. Agnes is a former wandering Varisian tarot reader, psychic, spiritualist, an all-round good person who has raised a family by herself here in the town that she is now fighting so fervently for. She is fighting not only for her children, but for a future with handsome fishermen. And is pretty much done with fighting and struggling. She wants peace to return, or she wants to blow up everyone who has ever slighted her, ever. This character played by Laura Bones.
Hello. Good evening, folks.
How are you? Would you like my description? Feels pretty apt.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Nice,
it was beautiful. I loved it.
All right. Say no to drugs.
And not once was the word matronly mentioned.
Matronly, elderly.
I love it.
Salt and peppery.
No, don't spoil it now. Don't spoil it now.
She's like one of the graybeards up in the mountain. You go up there and you sing.
She is the gray maiden.
Speaking of saying no to drugs, which I didn't, but this is the segue. Dante, our kitsune druid, whose friend was killed by the drug trade here in the city, has been on the longest quest to try and find out who's responsible and bring them to justice, and has indeed tried to bring peace to this city that was so precious to someone so dear to him. Dante is our group's healer, our shapeshifter, our moral compass, and the person who has probably, in addition to Holly, lived the longest in our group. We have, of course, Dante played by Rykon.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. It's hot.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's winter, but, you know, yeah. And then, of course, we have the Rebel, the Raccoon, the Tanuki. We have Ray, a champion of Milani, a person who has been drafted into the ranks of the rebellion here in Corvosa by none other than Cressida Croft in an epic battle against the Queen in order to stop her and her evil dominion. This magnanimous and heroic character played by our even more heroic Cookie Mon Steve. Cookie, how are ya?
Doing fine. Heroic? For God's sakes, man. What are you thinking?
Well, why else are you here? You're not here for money. You're not here for glory. You're not here to save anyone you know. You're just like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Huh. Looks like this place could use some freedom. And then you pulled out your fucking...
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, there you go. And last but certainly not least, a favorite to the channel, we have Cass playing the role of a secretary bird who we have recently learned may not be a secretary bird, but the actual memories, thoughts, and feelings of a person given to an animal and then transformed into this anthropomorphized animal person hybrid who is on a quest to retrieve their horse. We have none other than the wonderful Cass. Hi, Cass. Playing Alazara.
Hi.
Or Ro for short.
Yes. Hello. I hope you're doing well today, Dag.
I am doing well. Yeah, pretty good. Can't complain. I mean, it could, but it'd take up too much of the time I'm saving. All right. Then, of course, now that we have introduced our characters, let us thank, of course, our wonderful and amazing audience for being here. You guys are awesome. You guys are cool. We have a number of ways for you guys to interact with the game while we play. First of all, just by watching the show, you earn channel points that can be used to stave off death. No, what am I saying? Blah, blah. Let me reset. That you can use these channel points to do things like inspiration, insight bonuses, wandering monsters, wandering bosses, divine intervention, divine healing. So many cool things. Go check them out. But, of course, if you want to help Dag with his Dag survival check, because Dag needs food to eat. And rent and mortgages to pay and stuff. If you want to donate to the DAG stream, because this is also my full-time job, we have a number of very tangible effects that you guys can donate for. For $5, you can donate one of the red marks for a hero point for a player of your choosing, or a jinx point for me. I think everyone's loaded up on hero points and jinx points, but I will tell you about them nonetheless. Hero points can be used to stave off death, petition the DM for stuff that isn't in the rules, or roll with advantage. Jinx points can be used to counteract hero points, make bad guys roll with advantage, or complicate things ever so slightly. For $10, I will draw from one of two decks of cards I have in front of me. The first deck is a deck of heroic actions. These are free, super-powered actions you can give to a player of your choice and works as an emergency hero point as well for them. This second deck I have is a deck of plot twists, which of course I will draw from. Take a random plot twist that you can either decide how many I draw, or you can decide for me to pick randomly from the deck, and I will try to implement that plot twist into the game as quickly as possible. We then have our $20 donation, which is the coveted golden natural 20, which you can see a few of my players have. It is a natural 20. Why? Because sometimes it sucks to fail, and the nat 20 helps us deal with that. Then, of course, we have our $50 donation, where we have 3 things you can get potentially for the $50 donation. We have a Harrow reading, where we read our player's fortune and gain a statistic assigned to that reading. If our players use any skills with that statistic, they roll a d6 and add it to that roll. If they potentially wish to, once per scene, they can re-roll any check made using that statistic. In addition, if they try to follow the prophecy from their fortune-telling reading, they will be treated as a critical success. Likewise, if they reject the prophecy, critical successes will also happen as well. There is also a magic item that you can donate to the players, and of course, a massive boon you can give to the bad guys for that as well, for that $50 donation. The $100 secret menu item. The $100 secret menu item will be quite simple. Our heroes need to deal with a bunch of devils, the 7 deadly sins that have been unleashed into the city. Now, for the sake of it, and this is purely for Holly, not purely for Holly, but mostly for Holly. Holly is on a 24-hour timer before the god Akachek is going to come and cut things short with her soul. So, trying to defeat 7 deadly sins is going to be a bit of a task. However, our heroes will gain the boon of transportation throughout the city for the remainder of the game. This will come in the form of a very famous taxi, or at least the ancient ancestor of a character that was once upon a time in my very first Starfinder game. Now, Laura, this might throw you back a little bit, but he was a taxi driver who used to drive shades around in the cities. Do you remember him? Maybe. Yeah. So basically think your most New Yorker taxi driver in the world who is basically a combat pilot. We're going to basically turn him into a coach for you guys to be able to use. He is going to take you anywhere within moments. He will also assist you in particular ways in terms of having an actual vehicle to smash through buildings and destroy stuff as well. Potentially, yeah. You'll basically have a wreck. You'll basically have a an ATV is kind of the thing. So there you go. So yeah, magic coach driver. That is our secret menu item for today. Cool. Everyone good? Good. Wonderful. All right. Without any further ado, guys, I think we've covered pretty much what we're up to. Our heroes are currently in the rebel base deciding where to go after having learnt of the presence of the 7 sin devils throughout the city. Now, Holly, also pressed for time, needs to find a proof of some sort of the Queen's possession by Kazavron and Kazavron's attempts to try and gain the throne. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and we have a donation to process. Donation! Who donated to us? How dare you? Who do you think you are? Schoolie tipped a $30 donation. We have multiple plot twists. Okay. Thank you, Schoolie. Okay. 3 random plot twists. Here we go. For you, my dear friend. Here we go. Shuffly shuffle. Our first plot twist is a cliffhanger. We have a cliffhanger for our first one here. Okay. Our next plot twist is Buried Secret. A buried secret. Okay, interesting. Interesting for that one. Yeah, but now you get a cliffhanger in the middle of the game. That's the thing. It's like I have to put it in the middle of the game. All right, and what's this one? I mean, I'm gonna take this one out actually. I feel like because these are the 7 deadly sins. I feel like I'm gonna not just turn it into summon the devil. Let's try it again. Cha! What the hell? Hold on. There we go. All right, and we have a cherished gift. Cherished gift. I had half my deck shuffled upside down, so I need to fix that. Okay. Okay, so that's it. We have cliffhanger, buried secret, cherished gift, and yeah, that's it. Cliffhanger, buried secret, cherished gift. I think I can make these work. I think these are going to be okay. Okay. So, without any further ado, we are at the base. Our heroes planning their next move. The scene is yours. You may discuss. You may take it from here.
Turned with our people that we sent for.
One more time.
Has Boy returned with our with our who is it, the
Cressida Croft, who
Sable Company and No, Cressida's
Oh,
still
the
sleeping.
Oliver. Sorry. Yes, he will return with
Yeah.
Oliver. Is that Oliver?
And also Center for Sabina Marin at the same time.
You sure you want to wake up
Those
Sabina?
are-
I mean, I have no problem with it. I just feel really bad that you were like, "Don't worry, we'll take care of everything," and she was like gone for like 2 seconds before you guys needed her again.
No,
No,
it was
no,
Cressida
we're
that
not waking up
went to sleep.
Cressida.
Oh
We
no!
sent- we
Wait,
sent
sorry,
her for
Sabina. Sabina's the
Yeah.
fucking. I should.
Grey
Grey
Maiden.
Maidens.
Yep.
I should watch my
Former
own
Grey
games.
Maidens.
You know?
Lieutenant of the Grey Maidens.
I should watch the
I
games.
need to send you my notes. I need to send you my notes between sessions.
You do. I mean, I'm just terrible. Okay, yes. So yes, you aren't waking up Cressida. You are waking up Sabina Marin, former captain of the Grey Maidens, and you are waking up Oliver, who is the commander of the Sable Company Marines, who is now come out of hiding and is now allying with our heroes. Is there anyone else that you are bringing into the fold here?
No, that was, I think, that was where we were at the end of the last one, so we
All
can...
right, very well. In which case, gathered around the table in the center of the war room, our heroes are joined by the two heroic figures. As they seem to talk to one another, unsure of why you have summoned them, they are eager to hear what has transpired and what plans you may have.
So, Ray will, for the sake of time, we'll bring them up to speed on what the report said,
Mm-hmm.
the things. Also, the fact that he finally got Cressida to bed, but promised not to leave things out of command. So, I'm asking you to take over the command center here while we go out and investigate probably the closest of these problems.
All right. Hearing you say this, Sabina starts with somewhat of a protest. As you say this, Sabina goes, "Are you certain this is the most wise action? After all, not too long ago, most of the people in this place would have considered me an enemy. If they wanted me in charge, I feel as though somebody may have perhaps said something. It's probably not the greatest of ideas." Oliver stands up and says, "Well, she's right. People aren't going to like taking orders from a person who is leading the army that, well, let's face it, victimized a great number of our friends. I would offer to stand at the ready, but the Sable Company Marines are few and far between. We're more of a strike force than anything else. We're still very much acclimating to, well, everything happening right now. Our services may possibly be better on the field. There are 7 targets after all, from what you account. Sabina has a small contingent of loyal Grey Maidens, and I have the Sable Company Marines. I'm fairly sure that we don't need someone at the command post for the next couple of hours, at least. Especially if we are taking battles to these people. Could be very simple."
You have good points.
The devils are very,
I'm
very simple.
Well, I don't think we know that they're devils above the table.
You
We just
do.
know there's 7.
Oh, Agnes
Oh, do we?
does.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's told you
Okay.
all as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
Yeah. Holly has told
Okay.
Holly, Dante, and Agnes all know.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. No, you go. No, you hang up.
Yeah, so my challenge, and so my challenge is that I truly don't want to wake Cressida, but I also feel that we cannot leave the command center without there. So
Well,
I think there may be
well,
a
if
lot
those are your
to what you're
goals,
saying.
then I propose one simple thing. Deploy everyone. Make this an actual operation. If Cresta is resting, then Cresta is resting. That's nothing to be done about it. From the looks of the breakdown, by according on this map, there are, which I'm blocking with my body, there are a number of different targets that we can take. My suggestion is that I take the Sable Company Marines to the far north and take care of Sloth as well as Greed along the outskirts. We can travel between the two and do flyby strikes in order to try and disrupt their lines. In the meantime, Sabina can make their way into Old Corvosa. They may not be well liked there, but at the very least they amount to a certain number of fear. With that, hopefully, at the very least, they'd be able to keep the Envy soldiers at bay. We have a number of rebels still in operation, including those who abandoned the cause that were led by the false vigilante. Many people still inspired by Blackjack and the Light. We can order Padrig and Quinn to help disrupt some of the gatherings in the middle. As this is probably going to simply be a delay tactic, it'll buy enough time for you to be our strike force, draw out these devils from their hiding place, and have you land a killing blow.
Sounds like a reasonable plan, and I think that actually would.
After
I
all,
have an
past my
objection, however.
Hmm.
We've finally gathered our forces together and are finally organizing into something more than just a bunch of rabble. And now 7 demons show up, scattered around the city, to draw our forces to scatter themselves around the city. I'm just saying that also might not be a wise course of action.
Sabina speaks at this
Are you
point.
suggesting?
You are right. If I were to try and draw rebels out of hiding, this is how I would do it. Most certainly this is some measure of ambush or trap. But I know what the Queen is capable of right now. And if we do not act, then it is civilian lives that will be put on the line. Yeah. Oh, what a tone setter. Slam fucking
no,
dunk.
That's
No, it was just beautiful. I just
Agree.
love. I
And
just.
it's like a weighty silence settles over
It
the
was.
room.
It was
Everyone
great, and then I
ponders
ruined
her
it.
words.
It was perfect. It was good. I could not have delivered that line better. And you know, that silence. You guys are amazing. I love role playing with you guys. Anyway.
I love how you're telling us that we weren't completely confused on what to do next.
Yeah.
That it was on purpose.
Oh yeah. No, there's so much to do. Now, keeping in mind, this also doesn't solve Holly's problem either. So if Holly does want to bring that up, that's, you know.
Is there any way of finding out exactly how the queen got possessed by Khazabron or what Khazabron wants, Sabina?
This notion, the crown of fangs, it's hard to say, honestly. I know very little about it, and I was her right hand. There are rumors of a doppelganger. If they wanted to pass as a true clone or a true replica. I would imagine the Queen has shared quite a lot of information so that they may be a convincing decoy. It could include information that I wasn't privy to. That would be my best guess. is that they may be able to be the ones to testify to, well, whatever the nature of Kazavron is.
Okay.
Right,
I
well,
mean,
yeah.
we have the sword as well. Does that not get like, I don't know, a wee bit agitated around the whole Casafron thing? Maybe that could act as some sort of proof in some fashion. I mean, if we can get it close enough to it without actually getting into a fight or something. I don't know.
I was just thinking we could keep the decoy alive and find out what she knows. But we're not quite up to finding the decoy just yet.
Well, if she is around, then likely she might be with, well, in the castle. But that might leave some measure of vulnerability. There is another potential option. In the Northern District, that's when you said where you said the Pride Demon was. Well, right now, I think the greatest source of pride is the Queen herself. It could possibly be that the Pride Demon might view protecting the Queen as to be the most important thing to do. It could be that that might be where you could get information, or even perhaps start taking steps towards finding and killing the decoy. But that's just a guess. Well, we don't have time for
Especially
guesses.
if we can get it to brag about it.
Well, we don't have time for guesses. What we need action. So, who's in command of this operation?
I think Agnes kind of just looks at Ray, possibly at this point, and yeah, she's, but even that hesitantly, because
Yeah. Ray's not too happy about it either, but
and also Sabina is still quite wounded, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She
Yeah,
can still
so-
take command though, and like I said, she's actually got a small squad of people who did stay on
Yeah,
her side.
I was thinking like that if she deploys her squad, but her herself, I think, should stay. I think you should stay here and at least keep things under control.
Make a diplomacy check.
Look, Agnes will also say, look, I have never really wanted to actually kill a person before out of just, sheer anger. And I did you, to be honest, for a couple of seconds. So if I can stand here and say that I think you should be in charge, then surely that stands for something. Then everybody else can just swallow their problems, get on with what needs to be done.
All right, make a diplomacy check.
I cannot. Can you make a diplomacy check for me?
I can. Clicking on Agnes. Clicking on an Agnes character. Do 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 do. When did you guys get to level 15?
A couple of sessions ago.
It was a rhetorical question, but thank you for clarifying.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
You promoted us.
All right, 39. That is perfect. Yeah, easy done. All right. Sabina is hesitant, but she stops and realizes the truth in your words. All right. If you would like, I'll keep the Grey Maidens here. We'll hunker down and we'll make sure that the base stays safe. Good. I'll be the eyes in the sky. I'll do what I can to coordinate from the field, and we'll use our strike forces and dedicate them where they need. As for you guys, you're going to be, like I mentioned, the bulwark of this battle. You need to take down the heavier units. Once the devils are gone, the rebels can come in, sweep things up, and clean out their operation.
So Ray's going to look at the others. So do we take the one that's closest to us, or do we take the suggestion of Pride? Because I do like from what has happened in the city, I think Sabina has a very good point. That if there was someone who was closest to the Queen, it would probably be Pride.
Indeed. I mean, we still have a lot of time, and I mean, if it seems that we can't
We're
deal
gonna
with
have-
gluttony quickly, then we can move on just to Pride. I just think leaving them so close to our headquarters behind us may
Well,
not be wise.
I do have another proposal, actually. If you can make do with some radio silence, at least for a little time, I could personally try to deal with Pride myself. If me and the Sable Company Marines go in, strike them hard and fast, I'm fairly sure that we can get the upper hand. Especially if what we're looking for is, effectively just a copycat. I'm fairly sure we can get our hands on them, drag them out by force. We may not even need to face the Pride Demon.
That sounds reasonable to
Prideful.
me. I like the.
We do need her alive, though.
Oh, yes, of course. So
Well,
is that a yes? You would like to order us to do
That's
that?
that's what I would like to do.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have to use your big boy words.
Okay, Sable Company Marines go after the False Queen and the Pride Demon. Hopefully you don't have to deal with the Pride Demon. We will take the Gluttony, and then from there we will come back and probably come back and revisit where we're going next. Hopefully we'll have some further information.
I so. He moves out, and you can hear him sort of like mounting and getting ready with all of the hippogriffs from his unit. Sabina says, "All right, I'll take over command here. Get into the field and do what you can. I'll try to coordinate as best I can, so as soon as we hear word back from Oliver, you'll be able to coordinate from there. I don't think necessarily we'll need to come back to base. We can hopefully keep this operation going, take out as many of them before they become aware as we possibly can."
Agreed.
All right, well, good luck. If Gluttony's who you're after, then you'll be wanting to head to the Southern District. All I know is that it is an open space with a large number of relatively new nobles. There is a large church belonging to the Pantheon of Many. And a wide variety of luxury tailors and mansions and jewelers and the like. It is the very expensive region. So, not much military presence, but yeah, it shouldn't be too hard for you to move in and out.
Are any of my food trucks there? My food vendors?
Your food vendors. Remind me what your food vendors are?
The soda guy that sells all of my favorite sodas and all the flavors, and there's a cupcake vendor that has lots of really good cupcakes.
The cupcake vendor, yes. The soda vendor, no. The soda vendor is still on his little push wagon, which is up in the market district. But the cupcake person has their own bakery down here, yes.
Ollie's happy.
Okay.
You can get
Shall we go?
cupcakes out.
All right. Our heroes embark upon their quest heading to South Shore. Now, as mentioned, Our heroes make their way out of the Grey and begin to make their way west towards the South Shore District. The first thing you see, of course, is the large gates. The normally heavily patrolled entrance is not being patrolled at present. In fact, there is a rather unsettling silence that seems to list over this entire area. As you get closer, you eventually hear the sounds of like some sort of not commotion, but maybe like celebration almost. Oops, sorry, one moment.
We need to keep a close eye on each other around these demons. Don't get separated in walls, and don't be alone at any time. At least two of us at all times anywhere. We don't know how easily it is to slip under the influence of a devil. I mean, I've never really encountered any. Well, that one, but yes.
Chris, you keep
Just-
flip-flopping between demons and devils.
Sorry,
Which is
that's
it?
just me. That's Laura. That's not Agnes. Just assume every time Agnes says demon, that's just Laura getting confused. Devil. Okay.
Does Holly feel any sort of like protection from these guys, from the mantis god? I forget his name.
Akachek.
Asheridian, whatever.
Akachek.
Akashak.
Do you feel any protection?
Yeah, like does she feel his presence at all, like a cleric would, or?
Yes, you do, but not in the way a cleric would, mind you.
Okay. She's gonna pull her knives out. And just
You're
sort
kind
of
like a glorified warlock right now.
yeah, she's just gonna pull her knives out, pour them around, like just to remind herself she's a rogue again.
All right.
We also need to be careful of the people. We don't want to hurt them, whether they attack us or not. At the end of the day, that's not really their fault. So we need to protect as many people as we can.
Holding back isn't really my forte.
Well, try, Unak.
And just
That
slaps
would-
him across the face. For fuck's sake! Agnes just starts smoking. I can't hold back. I'm too strong. You held back plenty when fucking Alexander died, you cunt.
Oh,
I watched.
Shots
I
fired.
wasn't holding back. I thought he could
I just
handle it.
sat and watched. I just sat and watched. I wasn't holding back.
I thought he could handle it.
so
Damn.
He did for a little bit until he didn't.
Ray is looking at it, going, "Ro, let's go."
Look, it's early in the morning. Okay, I'm extra spicy. Okay. So as you continue to make your way through, again, the sounds of the celebration seem to be coming from a large mansion to the far south. This is Carowin Manor.
Ooh, I remember this place. I set it on fire once.
You did. More specifically, it was filled to the
Oh,
brim
yeah.
with zombies.
With zombies. Yeah. This was one of Agnes's first most horrifying experiences. Is where the true hatred and fear of the fireball spell came to. You know, the first time was maybe the one-off. The second time, you know, the fear set in, and
All right. So, once again, you find yourself back at the Carowin Manor. It has not
oh,
been
not this place again.
it has not been touched since you were last here.
Oh, look, you can still see the scorch marks.
You can actually still see the scorch mark. But the difference is there is now the sound of celebration instead of silence.
Do we see anybody? Or is everything coming from inside?
Everything's coming from inside.
Well,
Okay, so from the last time we were here, were there any like back entrances that we remember? Or like a basement? Or like, can we remember any other like entrances? Because Laura particularly can't, because it was a long time ago. But Agnes has a fairly high intelligence and a reasonable memory. So would she remember like the various?
There's no real back entrance, but you do know that there is a servant quarter that you can access like through a hedge. Like, you know, like all the hedges pretty much you can just like cut through. Really, they're just plants, you know.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Just above the table, have you shared the map? Because it opened, but it's just a black screen for me.
Yeah, I got a black screen too.
Oh, give me
Same.
2 shakes.
It's probably a vision thing.
Oh, there we
there
go.
it goes.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'll keep in mind, we're not using this as a battle map. We're just using this as a general map.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fair
Thank you.
enough.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Can we tell where
Agnes?
the revelry is coming from?
In the main house.
Okay, so most of the main house was set on fire. So we could go into the parts that we set on fire, or we could go around back. I don't think that was on fire as the rest of it. If you want to go around back. What do you guys think?
House on fire. You've been
Yeah.
here before. I will follow your lead, but that was a very concerning string of words that just came out of your mouth.
There was a lot of zombies, and fire is bad for undead, so we used a lot of fire, and it's a house.
And then there were a lot of zombies that were on fire trapped in the house with us, because just normal zombies apparently wasn't enough for everybody. We needed flaming zombies on top of it.
Well, the fire did damage to the zombies, but then the zombies kept walking.
And the walls, and the roof,
Yep.
and us.
We weren't on that much fire. We got out of it.
So while
And
they're
we went
talking,
in
you're watching Ray pull his shield out, get it settled, pull his Morning Star out, bang it a couple
Looks
of
around
times
for a
on his
bucket of
shield to
water.
go like, what the frick are we going into?
Well, there was a really pretty but really really evil elven lady, and she made the zombies, and she was scary, but she's not there. I don't think, because there would be zombies here, and it doesn't sound like zombies. And I don't
haven't
smell fresh
experienced
fire.
zombies,
It all
so-
smells go around.
Right, well, I think we should probably at least try to attempt to sneak in and have a look and see what's going on. I'd rather know what we were walking into before we just stroll on in there.
Can we see in through the windows at all?
The windows are boarded up.
Okay.
Oh, let's see
well,
if I kept that spell. Kind of
if you have a
spell.
sneaking
But
path, let's go.
I got rid of a spell because I never used it, and now I'm like, I kind of wish I had that spell now. Gosh darn it.
Consarnate.
Mm. Never mind. I had a spell that just put a tiny little invisible ear, like up to 500 feet away, and it would just sit and listen. There was also one that could do with an eye, but I'd never used it, and then I thought, oh, I'll never need it, so I got rid of it, and now it'd be really useful to have a tiny little invisible eye or ear. But you know. Never mind. Sneaking it is. Good old fashioned
Sneakity
sneaking in around the back. sneak around the back, try the back door, rattle, 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 or gently, softly try.
All
Well,
right.
the back door isn't the back door glass, like wasn't there like windows? I thought it was like a view out to the back.
There
Right?
is a viewing space in the back. Yes.
Can we, yeah, like I just want to creep up to that and get a kind of look in.
Sure. You see a banquet hall as you sneak up to it. Again, there's no trouble as there is a symphony of music that is distracting the sounds of your footfalls as you approach. The rest of the group, however, I imagine stay a little bit back, having only just managed to kind of get through the hedges so that as to not, ruin your sneaking. And as you peer through the stained glass window, what you see is, again, an opulent feast being led by what looks to be a woman dressed in very fancy attire. They are eating people that are splayed across the table. However, it's not just a pile of flesh. It is people made into raw versions of very delicate cuisines. You can see a very intricate soup dish that seems to be covered in greens and the like, with a human rib cage cracked open, stuffed with all the trimmings and the like, just dripping viscera. You see intestines sewn into sausages with mounds placed over it and a Veuve Blanc glaze just kind of poured over the top of it. You see a whole 16-year-old boy roasted with an apple in his mouth just on the table there. And you can see that there are a multitude of undead who look like they're dead. They're not eating, they're not doing anything, but they are kind of like just still and just kind of watching the food as this one very, very noble looking person seems to be just eating and participating, every now and then stopping to applaud the sounds of the minstrels, who are undead, but they are conjoined triplets. They're not actually conjoined normally, they have just been sewn together, basically, these three bards that, one is singing in the middle, the one on the far left has a harp, the one on the far right has a lute, and the one in the middle is singing. So they're just kind of performing. And yes, this is also what this person who is eating appears like.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
I think I'm the only one that can see it. Am I?
Yes, because you're the only one who approached.
Okay. And she's the only living person?
By all appearances, yeah.
Okay. And I don't recognize her, I assume.
Yet you do not recognize her.
Okay. I am gonna sneak back to the rest of the party.
All right. At this point, you'll need a stealth check.
Okay.
Natural one.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I love how he says that.
Well, you're a rogue now, and you leveled up all of your stuff for roguing. Oh no.
I am gonna hero point that.
Well, let's find out what you'll need first. You'll need a 43.
I am going to hero point that.
All right, let's go for the hero point, baby. Stealthing away. Oh.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my.
That was so close.
That is actually so. That's actually a critical failure.
You have a nat 20, Holly.
Well, but that was a hero point, so isn't that advantage?
Even with that
Or was
advantage,
the first
roll still critically failed.
Good point. Oh dear.
This is bad, and oh no, I don't want to use my nat 20. Okay, I'm using the nat 20.
You want it or you don't?
Oh, this is killing me. It's gonna go really, really wrong in the worst possible kind of way if I don't.
How do you know?
Because I just saw what was inside that house.
Look, it's a bit creepy, right? But really, what's she gonna do? Fly out the window, grab you by the throat, throw you into the kitchen, and say, I caught a pheasant. I mean, there you go. You've got an inspiration from OG. OG gives you a reroll.
I love you, OG. I love
I
you.
thought the
so
inspiration
much.
was going to be yes, she will fly through the window
Oh.
and grab you around the throat and push you into the.
Oh my God.
That's
Are you
Very
sure?
barbecue
Oh
wings.
no!
Look, it's clearly
Oh, no.
supposed to be.
You've forgotten how to be a rogue. You've spent all this time being a cleric and everything like that. You just forgot everything all of a sudden, you know?
Nat 20. Nat 20 it.
That's true. You got a nat 20 it? Okay.
I'm gonna nat 20 it.
All right. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh wait, no. Hang on. I got another inspiration.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Another inspiration. Go for the reroll.
For the love of God.
Yay!
that was
Saw that
almost
on a
nat
one.
IT dude.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Now, it's not a critical success. It is a normal success because I still had a DC set up from earlier. But,
That's fine.
very well. Without using your natural 20, and thanks to the generosity of your audience, you do make your way back. And convey what you had seen to the rest of your party.
Oh no, I want to be the one to convey it because it's Holly.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, guys, remember how I said there were zombies the last time we were here? So and I said it couldn't be as bad as it was the last time we were here because the elven lady was evil and terrible and it couldn't be that bad. Well, I kind of spoke too soon. So what happened is there's I don't know if she's an elf, but she looked kind of, well, she was very pretty and very fancy. And there's a lot of people on the table for eating because she's eating them. And there's like a teenage boy who's been spit roasted like a pig, and she's eating him. And there's a whole lot of zombies, but they're not really moving, but they're clapping for her while she's eating the people. And there's musicians and they're playing a lot of music and they're also dead, but they're sewn together. So I would like to go back to my original plan of burning it down. It's scary.
Udog holds up one finger, just 1 second, walks about 20 feet away, opens up his helmet, and just.
Yep, there's a small little body of water that you can hurl into.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ray
I
looks
think
at
if
Agnes and
Agnes
goes,
hadn't, Agnes is looking kind of green around the gills, but like I think if she hadn't seen the inside of a giant worm twice, she might have been
I forgot about that.
had a bit
Fair.
more of a visceral reaction.
It's true. You
Because
want,
it was
you want
pretty
him
gross
perceived.
inside there as well. There was
So-
half dissected, like digested animals and shit. It was unpleasant in there.
Ray's just going to look at Agnes and go, "We can kill these ones, right?"
I mean, it sounds like somebody already has, to be fair.
How do you kill that
Okay.
which has no life?
I mean, Agnes
You
has
just
several
said that.
spells which can, but I don't have them on Path Builder because they were given to me by you on my character sheet in Fantasy Realms.
Hmm.
I've got like 3 spells for dealing with undead things, but
Fire, you said?
Fire.
Can
I
we
mean,
set?
it'll probably
we set
work on
fire?
the undead things, yes, but I doubt it's going to work
We'll
much
take
on
a
the devil.
we'll take a quick moment and remind our players of the very brief yet very poignant conversation we had about there not being a single one thing you could possibly do to end an encounter that I spend a great deal of time building, setting up, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this would be an example of said thing we were talking about.
Okay.
As I said, while I agree that yes, probably, setting fire to the undead things would deal with them, the devil, probably not so much. I'm not
You-
saying all devils like fire, but, as a general rule, 50-50.
Doesn't really bother
Well-
them too much.
Yeah. They are Asmodean,
Yeah.
so they probably are fine with fire. But it would kill the zombies, and it would get rid of the
Would it kill the
I mean-
zombies?
they're undead zombies.
Well,
And
but again, we might just
Right.
end up with flaming undead zombies, and they're worse than just normal zombies. with
that
beams
is
of-
precisely what happened last time. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm fairly sure Agnes actually brought up that you set fire to and had flaming zombies to deal with last time. And
Okay.
here we are discussing and I feel like it was almost the exact same situation that led to the zombies becoming more dangerous because they were flaming zombies, because Holly suggested we do the exact same thing exactly when you came here the first time.
Okay.
Holly likes fire.
Holly
Look.
does.
If it ain't broke,
But it didn't fix
Hey,
anything.
Brooke, make it worse.
Where's
Okay.
our better?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And even if
While
we
they're
burn
talking-
down this horrible tableau, she'll just pick up and find somewhere else to settle down again. So it's her we need to deal with, really.
So Holly, did you see how many people were in, or creatures were in there?
Yes.
What can I call them?
So there's the three musicians that are kind of one zombie, but are also three separate zombies. But I didn't see weapons on them, just musical instruments. And how many undead clapper zombies were there?
6.
And then there were 6 that they weren't really moving, just randomly they would applaud while she ate people. Bits of people.
Still eating
I don't
people.
know.
Okay. Agnes, you said that a burning zombie is worse than a plain zombie?
That has been my experience so far, yes. Dante, come on, back me
Sure.
up on this.
I would have to agree, especially with the large one we had to deal with.
Thank you. Agnes feels slightly validated now.
Well, we came here to find something. Feels
Kick
like
butt
we
and
found
take
something.
names.
Shall we, at this point, shall we go in?
I wonder if maybe we should bring her a gift. Or at least the pretense of a gift.
Holly looks delicious.
I am
Sorry,
no
Holly.
longer snack size. I am not here to be eaten. No eating the fairy.
Fair enough. I don't think we bring her a gift. Do you think that would help?
I mean, she might not just immediately attack us on sight. Which I'm
I'm
not saying she
expecting to
will
be attacked
do.
on sight.
I'm just saying that if we, go in there with some kind of pretense, we might at least be able to get, some form of conversation and size the place and things up. And she can actually just convince her to fuck off. Sorry.
I like your theory, but I don't think it's going to work. But thoughts?
Ro at this point is like wiping her beak because, like, as soon as Unok started getting sick, she started getting sick. She's wiping her beak off with her ungloved hand. Whatever we're doing, let's just fucking go. Blah. Before this all gets worse and I throw up on one of you. Let's go.
Well,
Udon comes back. He's like, I'm better.
okay. Are you sure? Because we're going in. I think.
Great,
Let's go.
Ro?
love it.
Okay.
So,
All right. How do you wish to enter? There is, of course, the back entrance here, here, or the front entrance over there.
And we're towards the back.
Correct, because you went through the hedge.
Yeah. And Holly saw the people through the window. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
do we want to get into the house comfortably and then hit them, or do we want to just hit them as we go in? Like, Holly,
I'm
do
gonna
you see?
I'm gonna step forward here.
Yeah.
There's a certain point where you don't need to necessarily
Just go.
gauge everyone's reaction. You're in command. You just command.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what essentially, as I was trying to ask the question of Holly, going was how much room was there from the entrance, and otherwise we go in where we've got some room to move.
You can see it. You're there.
So
you can. Yep. There's
okay,
the
well, if
entrance,
you can see it then.
and then there's that entrance.
Yeah. Yep, the top entrance.
All right, so we're heading through here.
Yep.
Fantastic. Everyone can move their characters, por favor.
That'd be a sweetheart.
Yes, I will do that for you. Agnes can move to here. All right. The door is destroyed, as per our last visit, revealing the interior of a grand and great hall, wherein which a large pile of burnt-up zombies seem to be scattered around this room. The smell of flesh that has been rotting for quite some time, as well as burnt hair and the like, still lingers amongst the furnishings and the like. In the center of what looks to be a grand dancing ballroom, a spray of kind of this very caked, very dried blood resides along the main dance floor. And you, again, can hear the music coming from just inside and then to your right.
Okay. So, oops.
Holly has already entered.
Yep. And I mean, keeping. By the way, where's Unok?
Unok.
Agnes will follow, but I think she would like to, if people are just walking past doors, I think she would like to listen or peek in just to make sure they're not leaving anything behind them to jump out behind them, kind of thing.
Sure, you peek in through the two doors here. In this room, you still see the poker game that was set up by the undead, but now there are skeletons. So more of their flesh has just sort of dripped off them and like landed on the floor and rotted and decayed. So there's like this blackish flesh that's now caked to the ground in the seats. And they're mostly skeletons now. And nothing in this room here.
I think that wall in
what's-
between the two was demolished at some point as well, between those two rooms.
The fireplace that was wrecked. That's gone.
Yeah, because of the giant. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, the Hulk thing.
So what's in front of us?
This is
Besides
the
a big
this is the
bloodstain?
ballroom. Music is coming from here.
Yeah. Okay. Heading towards the where the music is.
All right. You open the door and can see what looks to be a grand dining room where 6 corpses seem to be sat in front of a very, very long table filled with the food I described previously. Food in inverted commas. At the edge of the table is a very elegant-lookingly dressed woman with very pale skin, wearing very regal, noble clothes. She is eating quite voraciously, and yet carefully enough as to not stain their garments and the like, while, of course, the monstrosity you see seems to be playing in the corner of the room here. She looks in your direction and says, "Oh, well, I do declare I was not expecting visitors today. Please, how am I here and not offering proper hospitality to such fine guests?" She says, kind of looking up the members of the group, not lustfully or anything like that, but just like, you know, she's curious. She's very, you know, like you guys you're dressed in armor, and you don't have any weapons. You got some weapons there, and that man, he's got a mask on, all kinds of mysterious there. As she does so, she says, "Clarence, be a dear, clear the table. We need to make room for our guests, of course." And you watch as the bard starts playing, continues to play, and the zombies stand up, bow to excuse themselves, and then march out the door. They are heading in your direction if you want to do anything, but they will otherwise head out and leave that area. Please,
I'll
come,
step
come, come, come,
aside and
come.
let them past.
All right, yeah. If you let them pass, they just harmlessly head off to like kind of this area here. Please, why don't y'all come have a seat, quick. Grab some food while you're at it. This place is absolutely divine. I was very fortunate enough to get one of the greatest chefs in Corvosa to work on my staff, and I gotta say, I do not regret it one moment. Oh boy, that man can cook.
Um,
Oh, and what is this fine gentleman's name, if I may ask?
She gives a
Sorry,
name
guys.
you don't recognize, mostly
Yeah,
because
okay.
yeah.
Okay, fine.
She gives a name. This dude was actually, you know, like if you are from town, it is a reasonably famous like restaurateur in the city.
Hmm.
She looks
and
at
you've convinced him to cook people?
convince. Oh, I don't need to convince many people of anything. Though, please try the matzo ball soup. You know, it's really good while it's hot. You know, it's a little bit gooey and gummy, but that's because of the goo and gum that's in it. But swear, it just melts in your mouth while you're eating it. And you, darling, you are nothing but skin and bone. She just starts to like plate in front of Alizaro what looks to be like several cuts of like basically like forearm sections cut into like little ribeye kind of things. She sort of like puts them on your plate with some extra like some grits and some victuals and stuff. Yo, nothing but skin and bones. Eat up.
It looks awful human-y.
Humany. Oh, please. Not just human here. I got elf, I got dwarf, I got gnome. I'm pretty sure I've got a one of them. What you call them? Not ogre. The other thing, giants. That's right. I think I got some giant. They're making some smoked brisket. Oh my god! I'll tell you what. Brisket, I would not let that man touch because only my grandma knows how to make the best brisket, and I gave him that recipe, and I told him this is exactly what needs to happen. So if he comes out and it's perfect, that's all mine. Or at least you should say that's my Grammys, you know, all the way through.
Well, why are you here and eating sentient beings?
Why am I... Darling, you asking me why I'm here? You called me.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a mistake.
No. I ain't no mistake. You watch as she then raises her hand, and you watch as flames appear in it. A contract appears in her hand, and there are just these glowing bright red runes. No, says right here. Says failure to avoid to fulfill contracts punishment and penalties as stipulated by the Asmodean Church circa, and she gives the exact date of your transgression. He says at which point the seven gates of the damned generals will be opened and the city of Corvosa will be okay, here we go, there it is. The city of Corvosa will be divided by the seven general lords of the Sin battalion for us to be able to do as we see fit. So as for why I'm here, that's why I'm here. Of course, that's why I've welcomed you as honored guests. After all, you are my benefactors. You're the reason I can sit here and enjoy this delightful meal. At this point, by the way, I don't know how much everyone knew about that particular element of stuff. So if your character didn't recall or doesn't know about that, at this point in time, she looks at Holly the same way, you know, a noble would look at their favorite merchant, you know, as like, you know, please come in, let me get you some wine, let me get some tea. Relax, you know, okay, what was work? How's the wife, you know? Like, she's super familiar with Holly, like talking to an old friend.
Yeah, I think that there was a minor misunderstanding, and I was wondering if maybe we could get y'all you know to leave Corvosa.
Get us to leave Corvosa? Oh my dear, why would we leave Corvosa? And trust me, Asmodeus, he ain't the god of misunderstandings.
Right. It was really an oversight on my part. And it was my fault, but
Ooh, that's how he gets you. Got all of us at some point or another. People don't really realize what a demon is. Most people think, oh yeah, it's a demon, comes from hell, and oh, it's our devil. Should don't ever mess that up in front of Asmodeus. God knows he gets that up in his bonnet. I like demon better, but you know what? Devil, whatever. Anyway, the thing about it is every single devil, every single one of them used to be a person. You know that? You start off as these kind of like gooey, slimy, horrible things. Then you take your time, you pay your due, and you slowly start to, remember things. You start to climb the ranks. You start to find your true self. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think that, just most devils are just that.
Agnes is staring pointedly at Holly from the time this speech started. She's just got that slightly one raised pointed look. She stares at Holly.
And you know what? At some point or another, we all made that same mistake, honey. We all made the deal. We all came up with some reason as to why it was the most important thing. And let me guess, you're doing it because you knew that it would change someone's life or change your life, And then all of a sudden, oopsie doopsie, he's got you in your back pocket. It's cunning. But the man never, but Lord knows the man's never wrong. Met him once, actually. Met him in person. He's a scary motherfucker. Tell you that.
I actually am not in his debt anymore.
Get out of town. How did he let you out? How did you get him to let you out of that contract?
Well, interestingly enough, someone else, another god, got super angry at me. So I'm with what's Asherock?
Oh, the giant assassin god. Oh,
yeah.
Hey, you did not trade up, honey. You do not trade up.
Well, he's actually only got me temporarily, and then he's gonna let me go. So I'm actually free of all of them shortly.
You think that's how it works?
Yeah.
Well, I got news for you. One god cannot lay claim to another god's soul. Once you've signed the dotted line, Asmodeus has you. Now, Akachek, he can keep your soul and rend it apart and do all that thing assassins do, but if he loses interest in you, well, your soul goes back to Asmodeus. Akachek's just hiding it.
Oh, he's gonna keep hiding it, so I'm safe. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Well, and you don't serve Akachek.
Well, I just need to do him a favor.
And he's gonna protect your soul for all eternity.
Yeah.
You got
he's
that
pretty
in writing,
angry.
honey?
Yeah,
Asmodeus got you in writing.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not worried about it.
Holly says, making a bluff check against themselves.
I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, look, you don't need to convince me, honey.
Yeah, but so with all of that, we would really appreciate it. Because I kind of need Akachek to help us out with this thing, and I got to help him out, and to do that, we kind of need you guys to take off, and I was wondering if you could help us with that, because if you guys don't take off, then Asmodeus is going to be kind of extra mad at me, and that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, sorry, no can do. One, I'm already here, and the contract says that I have the right to be here. Two is, it sounds like you're the one who seems to have trouble keeping your word, honey. And I don't really want to cross Asmodeus when it comes to breaking deals and weaseling my way out of contracts, which I feel is maybe based on the fact that this contract here is a penalty for having the contract voided, is sort of your thing. So trying to listen to anything you say right now just kind of comes with a little bit of that southern salt that makes me wonder whether or not you're just pulling my leg. And secondly,
But Holly is not even really from this sort of plane, to be fair. So I just wonder how it is that she could give you the right to take over a city that's not hers.
Oh, no, right to the taking over is not a thing. It's the right to be here. You see, we get stuck in hell until a mortal invites us in. Kind of like a vampire, but like, scarier. Once we get invited in, well, we're in. There's only two ways to get rid of us. First is to, well, send us back the hard way, or to kill the person and send their soul to Asmodeus, and that kind of, well, settles the score and balances the scales. I mean, that'd send all of us back, really, but by the fact that we're still here means that the contract is still at least in some part in play. Till the soul is been forfeit and the contract is fulfilled, this is the punishment for that.
And we just can't ask you as a favor. Just
Well, can I ask you as a favor to send your soul to Asmodeus? And that way, yeah, we'll pack our stuff. We'll be on our merry. We'll leave the city.
I kind of don't want to die.
Well, I kind of don't want to help someone so goddamn selfish. So here I am, just going to continue eating my victuals and getting more victuals for that matter. And y'all can, well, I mean, you can join me. You're welcome to. I mean, there's plenty of food. But, if you continue insulting me by mistaking my hospitality for patience, then, I'm definitely not going to run out of food.
I'm afraid you are going to run out of food.
Oh, yeah?
Since if you're not going to go back the simple way, you're going to go back the hard way.
I do like the hard way. My God, you are so handsome. Look at you taking command and standing up, and gives me the chills. All right, I'll tell you what. Death comes for us all, right? Great thing about being gluttony is I have a hunger for life. A hunger so deep that there is someone who is always on my shoulder looking to try and cut me down. And you know what? Sometimes I think he might just do it one day. Today, however, I think he might just sway in my favor. Honey, be a dear and show our guests where they can sleep forever. At this point, something manifests behind her. Let me just change this. Hiya. Musica. Manifesting behind her is a shroud of darkness. Slowly it turns into a cloaked hood. Then a skull appears from within the hood. A giant skeletal hand emerges, as well as a long, poignant farming implement. Wielding a scythe, you see before you everything you've depicted in fiction or fantasy as death. The Grim Reaper. As that is what...
was called Binky.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, contracts are everything. And I ain't just talking about humans either. See, the reason I'm not afraid of you taking my life is I promised it to this handsome gentleman. And he, well, he ain't too kind to those who trying to take what is his. Have fun, sweetheart. The Grim Reaper floats in your direction. The bard is pretty much helpless unless you guys do something to it, so he's just there. But we're gonna roll initiative. All right. Death goes first. He begins by floating onto the table. He then exhales a huge gust of dark fog. Now, for those of you who were watching Gatewalker last night, you recall that I used a particular ability. It is actually inspired by this creature, as he releases a 20-foot aura of misfortune centered on him. Which means all rolls are made at disadvantage. He then uses an action to infuse his weapon into the length of his arm, giving it magical properties and making him immune to the disarmed condition. He begins to cast his gaze over you, and he clocks each and every one of your hit points. And that will be the end of his turn. The woman. Let's see. She'll just continue eating food, I guess. Does she have a spell that might be useful? Nah, she's good. Yep, she just continues to eat. And the bard continues to play his music, but he uses an ability called Scream in Agony. Can I get a will save from everyone, please? I got you, Agnes.
Is that a disadvantage?
Yes.
I don't think disadvantage will help me.
Is there a button for disadvantage, or we
No,
do it
you just
twice?
need to roll twice and take the lowest. All right.
Yeah.
So did anyone succeed?
This is
What
29.
was what was the success?
Yeah,
The
there's no.
success is 34.
No.
I did.
I got
Oh,
a
34,
36.
I succeeded.
Okay. Those of
Which
you who
means I crit succeed.
All right, those of
Yes,
you
I
who
also
succeed.
crit, I also crit succeed. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Those on disadvantage?
Yeah, I got a 36
as long-
on my bad one.
No, it's 30,
And I got-
34. 34 is the DC.
Yeah, I got
Yes, and I
35.
rolled a 36 and a 40.
I got a 41 and
And-
a 38.
Wait, hold on. So
And-
wait,
but
hold on.
But
Hold
I've
on,
also
No.
got divine
hold on,
will.
wait. Just real quick. A crit is 10 higher than the DC, which means 44 is a crit success.
It's because of the
Except-
abilities we have.
Yes. I
If
have
we
Oh, right,
succeed,
right,
I'll
because of
roll
your,
it.
I'm remembering now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Can you check the ability? So does it turn a failure into a successful, or does it just work on crits? Like, does it step up?
It only works for a
we-
success to a crit on this one.
Yep.
okay, cool.
Alright,
Not a
Same here.
problem. Okay, so those of you who have critically succeeded, no damage. Those of you who have succeeded take 24 damage, mental. Those of you who have failed take 48. Those who have critically failed, which I don't think is anyone, would take 96. Next,
Is it mental damage?
mental damage, yes.
Okay, because I have resistances to mental damage.
And
Just
who
give us a
failed, by the
second.
way?
I did.
Okay, Unok, you gain sickened.
Yeah, already
failed.
there.
All right, Holly gets sickened. I think Agnes also failed. Yes, Agnes failed as well, so Agnes is getting sickened as well.
Okay, so I have mental resistance. You gain resistance to mental damage equal to half your level. So, yeah.
So 7, so that is 41 damage then to Agnes. Okay. Alright, not a problem. Okay, so that is the bard. He just plays his song, and that is all he's done. Now, the effect is in effect. Basically, you cannot shake the sickened condition while you are within earshot of this guy. Otherwise, he's not doing anything else for the combat. Alright, Dante, you are up next.
Well, I just realized where everybody is, so I can't do a 15-foot cone without hitting people. So we are instead going to do... You know what? This place is already gonna probably get burned down at some point, so we are going to do Thunderstrike on the Reaper.
Alright, let's do it. He succeeds for half damage on a Thunderstrike. Alright, he takes 23 damage.
And for last action, I will glass shield on myself.
Mm-hmm. Alright, glass shield it is. And that is it. Done. Ray, you're up next. Also, you are no longer fatigued.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that.
Oh yeah, didn't even notice that, sir.
Oh, good. I gotcha.
Thank you. Ray is going to fall back on his usual thing and swing at him with the Morning Star, because that's what he's ready for.
Okay.
So hopefully, and at the, the guy right in front of my face. So, oh, and I need to do it twice, don't I? So that was a 44. That was not. That was a 33. So that's a miss.
Unfortunate.
Can I mean, hero pointing is probably not going to make a difference on that, is it? Or does it?
You can use a hero point, but what it would be is you would remove the lowest roll, and you would just have taken your first roll. So that would mean it would hit.
Yeah. So may I use the if I can use a hero point?
Absolutely. Yeah, not a problem.
Please.
All right, using the hero point, that will turn that miss into a hit.
Okay. Let's find out how badly this hurts me.
All right. 32 points of
damage.
damage as you strike it. It now turns its attention to you.
Yeah.
All right.
It's okay, guys. It's just lesser death. As long as this big brother
Exactly.
greater death doesn't turn up, we're fine. It's like we're good.
Oh, look, you
So-
joke, but the greater death is a thing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm slightly worried about that. So,
I didn't want to be too mean. Actually, the greater death is a CR 21.
No.
Mm.
Just just a lesser
Um,
form of death.
Yeah.
Slightly less agonizing, but still death.
Yeah. It's like diet death.
so yeah. It's a disadvantage. It's not gonna hit on that one. Sorry, I just got puzzled because I was looking at my second hit on the Kukri, and for some reason it's got an extra point, which I don't think it should have. He's going to raise his shield and brace himself.
All right. You brace yourself. Done and done. Okay. Which then brings us to Holly.
Dag, the wrong Holly is in the combat tracker.
Ah, I suppose. Okay, so that is 30. All right, there we go.
Okay. Okay, and my damage is in there. All right, cool. Okay. Holly is in full rogue form. Holly has got her daggers out.
Yep.
And she is going to perform a twin feint on the Grim Reaper. So she is going to leap onto the table.
As you do so, you will not provoke an attack of opportunity, but I just wanted to scare you.
Jesus.
The first stab.
Yep.
Well, we're probably going to hear...
It's a disadvantage, so you'll need to roll a second one, and if you roll a crit fumble, then obviously that'll be taken. Yep. Cool.
Okay. We are going to hero point that and keep my crit.
I'm going to jinx point your hero point.
No.
Yeah.
No, let me have the crit. It would be so cool. Let me have the one cool thing I could do as a rogue, please. It would have been so cool. It would have been so cool. Please.
Fine.
Thing. Thank you.
Ugh, go on, have your crit.
Okay. So we're gonna deal damage on that.
Also, by the way, I am aware that I did say originally that you would only be removing the disadvantage, and because you got your crit on the second, technically you still miss, but I will allow it, and I want the audience to know that I'm not a mean DM. That's why I'm pointing this out, because I did say that to Ray earlier on, but I'm not being mean, I'm being good. Go on, have your crit.
Thank you. Wait, that didn't crit it. Should I roll damage again?
There's a little crit button on the bottom left. And you need to drop it onto him. Hold on, I'll heal him up for 7, and then you can try again.
Okay.
Unless he's immune to crit. Hold on.
Do you... Is your dagger set correctly? Because you have -1.
Dag said they were.
D4 -1? That's odd.
I said your crossbow was good.
Yeah.
I should have
It might not be... It might... No, it might not be set to dex for damage.
I
It
should-
is not. It is set to strength.
It has now been fixed.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, cool. All right, crit
All right,
is
so
check.
you got to hit the crit button on the bottom left, and then drop it on death.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Okay.
that's way better.
Okay.
That is way better.
Cool. All right, give us numbers between 1 to 5.
Number two. Oh yeah, crit card. Let's go with 3.
All right. 1, 2, 3 is not the plot twist deck. Come on, Michael. 1, 2,
Can
3.
you imagine just having a plot twist as a crit?
Yeah, I know, right? Triple damage if the attack was a ranged or thrown weapon. Otherwise, redraw. Redraw it is.
3 again.
1, 2, 3. Target must succeed in a flat check or must make a DC check to cast spells. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, here we go. Hiya. Natural 1. All right, he has. You have basically stabbed him and broken his basically his jawbone. So now he needs to make checks in order to cast spells.
Okay, and he is now flat-footed. against my next attack.
Very useful.
Because that was my
I was gonna say that doesn't break his spell though, does it?
feint.
Like the one that's already up.
No. It's not a spell, it's an aura.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. I was hoping.
Alright.
Alright. Can you add flat-footed to him, please?
I can indeed.
Wait, so the aura is coming from the Grim Reaper or the Bard, or is there an aura coming from both of them?
No. So there's an aura coming from both of them. The
Okay.
Bard's aura is the sickened condition. The Grim Reaper's aura is the
Misfortune.
misfortune.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now we roll the second. Which is probably going, which is a bummer, but that's okay.
You still have to roll at disadvantage.
I know.
Okay.
Bummer.
So it moved 2 attacks, one of which was a crit. That is all.
That's okay. I did the very cool rogue thing and it made me very happy. Thank you so
did.
much for
Well
letting
done.
it. Thank you.
All right, Alizara, you're up.
All right. So there's the above table. There's the aura for the sickened condition coming from the Bard, and then the misfortune aura is coming from the Grim Reaper. I'm just asking as a player to make sure I have everything straight on my end.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, I am going to just simply brandishing draw my striking rapier, and I'm going to stab death.
Let's do it. All right.
Oh, that's a 2. I'll roll again anyway.
Yep, let's do it. All right. Unfortunately, the tip of your
Ooh,
spear
mercy.
does not hit anything
Just on.
but cloak.
It hits between the bones.
Yeah. Like the space of the collarbone. Yeah. All right. In that case, I will try one more stabby stab. Which jaw? Oh my god, who needs disadvantage when my rolls are this bad? God dang. Yeah. Alright, disadvantage, that is a miss. My lower roll was really bad, I think. No? Did not hit? I swear I rolled it. Did the first one of the rolls didn't go in the chat? It does like.
No, it did. I got a 29
Okay.
to 38.
Okay.
So the 29 will miss, however.
Yes. Okay. That case, seeing that that is not working, Ro is going to where I'm currently positioned, am I in stabbing range of the Pale Sovereign, or do I need to move to be within stabbing range?
No, you're within stabbing range.
Okay. Oh, in that case, I am going to switch to the Pale Sovereign for stabbing. Okay,
A
let's
critical
go.
miss.
Yeah,
All right.
that's sick. All right.
Give me a number between 1 to 5.
Feeling 5. Let's go
1,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. You're using a melee weapon?
Yep.
Interesting.
A rapier.
All right. It says you gain the Wounded 1 condition. I think this is an easy solution. You gain Wounded 1. As you go to stab her, she leans backwards in her chair and dodges your attack, which gives her ample opportunity to lean down and bite a chunk of your arm off. You now have a huge missing piece of your arm that is bleeding profusely as you gained the wounded condition.
Yep. And that's my turn.
Okay.
Getting eaten alive.
Get
Fried
even.
chicken.
All right,
Raw chicken.
Agnes, you're up next.
Gosh, what I was going to do was change so many times as everyone took their turns. Right. So new plan. Um, what's my hit point situation?
Your hit point situation is you've taken
Just
41
roughly.
damage out of 117.
Oh, okay, so
You're
a little
completely
half.
fine.
Yeah. Okay, what Agnes would like to do is using her telekinetic maneuver spell. She would like to attempt to, because I can use it to disarm, reposition, shove, or trip the target using spell attack roll instead of an athletics check. So I would like to disarm the bard of his musical instrument. So a 60-foot range,
Sure,
if
not
I'm
a problem.
within range.
Yep.
If I think that would, stop them singing. Well, it might not stop them singing,
no,
but
it'll work. It'll work. I'm
Okay.
happy to have it work if you attempt a disarm check.
Okay, so it's a spell attack roll.
Yep.
I kind of.
Oh right. One moment. Spell attack roll is.
Okay, plus 25, I think it should be. But the spell's in my spell list anyway, so. Should just be able to roll it from there.
Yep. Working on.
Disadvantage.
Okay.
And second level spell.
Yep. Activate. And that's a hit, but with disadvantage because the aura will unfortunately miss.
Darn it. Okay, so with my last action, I'm gonna reach into my little belt pouch, pull out some earplugs and shove them in.
Plug in earplugs?
Yeah, gives us a +2 against auditory effects if I have to save again.
Generally you don't, but I like it so much that I'm gonna just give you the deafened condition instead of sickened. Easy, done. All right.
It works. They can't charm you at this point.
I mean, they're not trying to; they're just sickening you. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah. All right. Unok, you're up next.
Yeah. They're all kind of threats in their own right. Unok's never been really a fan of bards, so seeing as how it semi looks like they've all got them under control, Unok's just gonna point his spear at the bard and go, "Will you shut the fuck up already?"
Aww.
I mean that's fair.
Everyone's a critic.
Does he actually stop playing the cursed music?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Well, then I'm going to attack him and try to break his instrument.
Ooh. Instruments. He's got 2.
Instruments.
All right, make a sunder attempt. So charging at him, make an athletics check.
Athletics check. Okay.
Yep.
I should be able to do that. That is a 44.
All right, you break the lute. Oh, and you watch as the other hand still plays the harp, but now he goes like hard. Now he's like ding 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 ding, and just like double timing it now that he's got more hands free to be able to like work the strings.
And then I'm gonna go try to break that one.
All right, make another athletics check. Oh, that is not... Oh, actually, sorry, I did forget. You are at disadvantage for your athletics checks. So technically speaking, if that first one... Well, let's say that this is actually the first one with your disadvantage.
Which wasn't with your athletics, it was with your weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was with my weapon. That wasn't my athletics. Oops.
Yeah, either way, that's still 32 is what you needed. And I presume a 4 is not going to hit that.
No.
Okay, cool. So you haven't broken the the guitar.
Then I will try again.
All right, go for it.
Actually, never mind. No, I won't, because with the -5 penalty, my 26, I would. Oh, well, maybe. Because you said it's a 32.
That is correct, sir.
Yeah, you would have a +20 to your athletics.
I'd have a +21. So, okay, yeah, I'll try again, I guess.
All right. Yeah, go for it. Ooh.
No. Yeah, that's
No,
okay.
sadly. But there is a oh.
No. There isn't a chance, Dante.
No, there isn't. Once he fails one, it
No,
puts
I was
disadvantage
going,
again.
oh.
Yeah.
Because,
Alright.
no, I was saying there was a chance of getting even lower.
Alright, well then.
So move and 2
That's
attacks.
it.
That's it. All right,
it.
realizing how deadly the encounter with the Death happens to be, Death raises his scythe.
By the way, you say it's connected to his arm. Is it just the blade coming out of his hand, or is
Forearm.
it the entire thing?
Yeah, the forearm.
Okay.
Oh. I see how it is. I'm going to use a Jinx point and see what happens. Much better. Okay. So, he raises his scythe and he swings it down. As soon as he does so, several blades fly from the window, smashing them. For a moment, distracting the Grim Reaper and the debutante, as what looks to be a strange locket is presented to the Grim Reaper. Buried secret and cherished gift. We're going to use these ones. You hear a voice coming from outside. I'm so terribly sorry, but you know what? All of this I hate. Because you have no style, no finesse, no savoir-faire, and yet you dress like a royal in a pigsty. Taking over the leftovers, which I left behind. Behind you in the garden is an elf dressed in a harlequin's outfit with a series of daggers. She is the one who is holding the locket. It may have taken me...
How did she get out?
It may have taken me a little bit to find, but, well, your little pet might be interested in knowing what I've managed to find. You watch as the Grim Reaper's demeanor seems to change. And the aura drops. And that is where we're going to end today's session. For those of you who do not know who this is Jolenstan Superio. She is actually the necromancer and serial killer responsible for the first series of deaths that transpired in this building. Hence why she was referring to this person as someone who is dressing up as a noble and picking over leftovers. Yes, we have our cherished gift, which is, of course, the thing that controls death. And the buried secret, that is to come a little bit later, but it is tied to the relationship between this woman and the death. As for a cliffhanger, I didn't use a cliffhanger during the game. So we're going to hang on to that one for next week. So cliffhanger will be back next week. But I'll figure out a way to put that in there. But guys, my name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here a number of times during the week. We'll be back on Wednesday for Rise of the Rune Lords. Not Rise of the Rune Lords, what I'm saying. Reign of Winter, which we are very, very keen to get back to. And yeah, as always, same schedule. This week, I don't think we have any disruptions. It is the school holidays, so just, keep alert because, you know, again, Dag works twice as hard during the school holidays. Yeah, shouldn't be any problem. So yeah, look forward to, have fun, and until we meet again, as always, stay kind, stay safe, stay wonderful, and until we meet again, game hard or die trying. Good night, folks.